Let me just check the headset, guys. I don't want to be crackling. Yes, I think we're absolutely good. So, good evening, guys, and welcome. Sorry for the small delay on the stream start, but tonight we are for OTL. Tonight is round 4, and we head to Imola. But not only do we head to Imola, we debut OTL's sprint format. So we are used to 18% qualifying in short, and then a 50% race, 32 laps being so at Imola. But tonight is going to be a little different, so the guys are going to be put under maximum pressure from the off in a one-shot qualifying session, 1 lap to get it right, everything on the line. We will then go into a 25% race, which will form the grid for our normal 50% race thereafter. So 2 bits of juicy racing ahead of us. I am joined this week with Dixie. He's not in the car, he's with me in the combox. He will be floating somewhere in the background. Are you here, young Adam?
He is here. I was muted while you got your introductions done.
Oh, thank you very much, sir. Are you excited for the format ahead, Adam?
I am. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to my bold prediction is you're going to have a lot of top guys invalidate their one-shot lap.
So I was actually talking to Rage about this, and I think in one-shot qualifying conditions, the faster guys are under more pressure because they obviously, to find the lap time, they spend more time closer to the limit of the track limits, right? So their probability of invalidation is very high, whereas somebody that's maybe not so fast spends more time well in the track limits, so they'll just go and get the lap in.
Yeah. Oh, and it's wow. Oh. I don't know if you've seen the weather.
I have not, but I assume it is not good. So Archie, Mikey, Skarma, Pedro, Mike, good evening to you all. I hope you are all very well prepared for what is ahead. And I assume Mr. PS5 in his fast loading time, we have some very, very wet weather. Oh my god. So hopefully the guys will take a minute to get their setups on. Excuse the rustling for a minute, I'm just trying to squeeze a can of juice out of packet. Hopefully they all take time. Of course, they'll have to look at the race being paramount. We have no
100%.
timer on the screen.
100%. There's 2 guys coming in on the stream that aren't going to get a minute of me watching.
I know what 2 you speak of.
You do. You know exactly.
And it may just be Pedro and Mike. So, timer is up. I'm going to try my best to be laser focused on somebody that I think that will be semi-competitive and give us a good representation to where exactly things are going to pan out. But it's not going to be easy because, as I have said, all 20 drivers on the track at the one time. So out the last corner they will come. We will go with our championship leader in Mike, I think, for the start. And then we'll maybe change driver every sector. So Mike will open the lap first. It's all on the line and he will fall down the order. P9. P10, but watch the time gain now as the faster guys start to come through the corners. This is where the lap time comes, although Mike's had a big lock up and that may be the lap away. Not quite an invalidation just yet, but he's having a lot of understeer moments and he's going to fall back to P14. We will go to Mikey now, I think, in P7 as we come through the sector 1 split. He now gains and it's taking me a little while to catch up to Mikey. He's down to P9, so get on board with the Red Bull man as he comes through the hairpin. Mikey on the full wet tyre here, so Mike on the inter compound and Mikey on the full wets. Let me actually get some data on the screen as well. That's maybe not the best thing in the short qualifying format. So we've actually got quite an even split, Adam, of tyres across the grid as Mikey hovers around that P10 spot as we come through and up to the sector 1 split. We're now got Nelly, another championship contender. He's maybe been a bit off the pace. Another driver also on the wet tyre coming through that last tricky chicane. He's going to get the power on and gained himself up to P5. So we'll stay with Nelly. The inter tyre are looking pretty beneficial. F. Lewis and Mike recovered very, very well in the middle of the lap there. So the inter tyre may be looking like the tyre to be. But who's going to take the first pole position? Of course, it's not our actual pole, but the first pole position for the sprint format. I think it's going to be Mike to get the time in first. But look how close that is, Adam. Wow. 3/100ths of a second. Splitting the top 2. We've got Rob Wills just under a second off, and Rob Wills and Nelly. So the 2 different compounding tyres, both given quite an identical lap time. But that is a very close margin between our top two there for our first.
I knew Matt was going to invalidate.
So of course, let's see our disqualified drivers will filter back down the grid, and of course 25% in this will form the grid. So SPWE and TSJ, Nick, Matoman, Connor, Ryan Sam, all drivers not getting anything on the board at the moment. Mr. Rage must have had a big spin in his lap. He's fell way out the order, so he's down there in P13. So straight away off the bat, the sprint format has put some drivers out of position. Skarma in P6, yes. That's a tremendous start for Skarma. I think he'll be very happy.
I called it for him the other day that he could be one that he's going to sit quite high with the one-shot quali. The one-shot quali puts more pressure, as you said, on the faster guys because they want that pole. They want to be at the front.
Quick interviews after the sprint race. Yes, we can most definitely do that. I can definitely get everybody in for a quick 30 seconds. While the grid gets reformed. I think that's a good way to plug the hole. So the weather dries up, Adam.
So it's just what you said, quick 30 seconds, plug the hole. I'm sorry.
Come on.
A little bit.
Come on.
No, I mean, look, the weather is nice. I'm intrigued to see what Matthew does here. Rage. Who else was near the back? Nick. Stephen. Hate him. But Stephen, he'll do a job.
Bet you that hot.
Mike, yeah, he did greatly. But Mike needs to try and drive away. He needs to. F. Lewis on his toes, teammates just behind. I mean,
on a guess, what we should talk about as well, Adam. Sorry, jump in right at the end. No, the points. It's essentially half points. So this full weekend or this full race night is essentially a points and a half evening for the drivers.
Yes.
So this could be huge. Of course, we run one a month for every month of the championship. Championship running for 4 months. So there's 4 opportunities to make big gains in the championship.
Yes. 100%, yeah.
And of course, the only bonus points in offer for the sprint will be whoever finishes first, because that is our pole point. Because this not only is for half points, it's for pole position. In our feature race, a couple of guys getting disqualified right off the rip. So on the formation lap, Adam, I'm going to quickly grab a restroom.
Go on, mate. I'm going to assume you're sitting on with Mike. Let's see, some Mike softs, F. Lewis soft, Rob Wills softs, and then we have our first medium compound runners in Nelly and Irish Potato and Nudity, followed by Skarma and Ranger on the softs, then Mikey also mediums, then Chris Taps and Chips softs, and the remainder of the grid are all on the medium compound tyre. Same with the 3 disqualified guys near the back. I'm intrigued.
Give me a head.
I'm intrigued to see Con. There is a little bit of a rustle.
Are we better now?
That's better. That is better. I'm intrigued to watch my buddy Irish Nude Potato, and I'll give him some crap. But...
So tyres. Ooh, interesting.
Yes,
so I know from experience, a 25% race at Imola. In my opinion, you are better starting on the medium tyre, because the soft tyre will run for 12 laps very, very competitively. It will always outpace the medium, so it's better to get most of the race done, in my opinion, on the faster compound tyre. But we'll jump to the back of the grid. It's Mataman going to be the guy
start on the
filtering
mediums, but it's better to do it on the faster compound.
Yeah, because if anything goes wrong, you can get on at the soft early, or just
Right,
pit
gotcha.
early and spend more of the race on the soft.
With you.
You want to finish the race, so they are lined up, and we will get some lights, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and the OTL sprint race is away. A very quick get out of lights, and F. Lewis in that inside line's first phase was astronomically better than Mike. The second row is going to pretty much go side by side. Nelly on that medium compound tyre, Mike will have to defend the inside line. Nelly will get pinched off a bit as a big oversteer moment, and somebody's round further back. I think it might be Connor Kidd. Oh no, it's that Nude Potato. So F. Lewis, gets away in P1, Mike P2, Robles 3, Nelly 4, Mikey 5, Rage 6, Madman P7, Kristaps P8, Shiv 9, SPW rounding out the top 10 as we get through the first sector of the first lap of OTL's debut sprint race.
Nelly was all out of shape into turn 2, tapped the back, and then he got hit from behind. So very unfortunate for Connet.
So you think that's maybe just the guys having to get out it because Nelly's had an oversteer moment and it's caused that concertina affecting them all to touch each other?
Yeah,
these things happen in Lot 1.
Damage, but I think it was the fact the guy's behind and he got a tap, and that was it. But he can come back from it, he's got the mediums on. I don't see why we won't get charged. I mean, Stephen, wow. Oh, I'm really Stephen,
so that's something I want to look at. Yeah, position changes. Mr. Rage and SPW, Matoman as well.
Yes.
In terms of a sprint qualifying format going a good way, that is the best way possible to get the opening lap, because people would argue in Formula 1 your biggest opportunities of overtaking is in the opening laps of a race, and these guys have managed to claim half of the grid.
And Stephen is boxed for the softs.
So he's getting out it, he is getting onto that soft compound tyre nice and early, and now going to get the damage done. Now this is where, if my theory is right, you're going to see it play out. And look at that, Shiv, as we're on board with Mattleman, Shiv gets the move done and Mattleman up into turn 9. Just before the drop down of the hill, and Shiv gets up to P8 now, so the soft tyre still working very well. And you'll see that is nearly 2.5 seconds now off the guys in front. So I'm intrigued exactly what way the guys at the front will play this, Adam, because if the gap's still building, they could spend the next 12 laps of the race just trying to build a gap to the point they're outside the pit window, so then it doesn't matter the tyre.
Here comes Mike making the move on Lewis.
Get on board with that one. Oh yeah, they're going to go side by side.
These two are going to battle hard all season, aren't they? Although we have a contender coming back next week, so that could change the dynamic, to be fair.
The return of Schlee!
Yes, the return of Schlee!
Hope you're watching, Schlee. That's you had your notable mention. Now everybody in the community expects big things. And of course this is a grid you join, Schlee. That number 20 spot is yours.
I'm looking forward to seeing him back, if I'm honest. It's been a while.
So Nelly's doing a bit... Oh god.
He is?
I don't even know my kid's birthday, so I'm never answering that question.
Yeah, pre-COVID, you can say that.
So we're going to see some team orders further back here in the Haas, boys. Oh, look at this, we've got Ranger YouTube all over the back of Green Fingers. Fingers getting the better of them on the brakes, down into the chicane there, and look at this, the Haas boys now got a bit of a train following behind them. Ranger, ENTXJ, Connor Kid, Skarma, Nude Potato as well, starting to bring themselves back into the fold at the back of this pack as Mike sets the fastest lap of the race.
Rangers through fingers inside there.
And look at this, Adam, we're on lap 4 and the guys are absolutely spent on energy, so that is showing that these guys are absolutely committed in getting the best results possible as quickly as they can in the sprint format, and that's exactly what we try and provoke. We want the guys to be a bit more aggressive in their racing and push just that bit harder, but still give the same high quality product that OTL provides week in, week out. As Pedro just struggling a little bit now with the guys behind. Fingers lost a couple of positions to Ranger and ENTXJ, so I'm wondering if Haas could have done with some team orders there. Pedro's going to go in the middle of the road, but Ranger will try and stick his nose up the inside line there. Oh, and he's going to get turned round there. Did he have right to space? I'm not so sure if that front wing, of course the ruling being front wing to side pod, was Ranger's front wing at Pedro's side pod? I'm not so sure. ENTXJ goes through.
Mike is slowly pulling away.
So who is this? Who's making this train here? It's Nelly. So Nelly starting to form a train in Mr. Rage, Shiv, Matoman, Mikey, Ryan Sam right there in that fold as well, who's had a really strong first few races in OTL. How's Ryan Sam? Oh, as Nelly goes a little bit wide at turn 1, and Mr. Rage now putting him under all sorts of pressure, but Nelly has a big energy advantage, almost 30%, but Nelly's off the track. Nelly is off the track. He hits the gravel on the exit of turn 4, and that's going to cost him, and I think now he's going to come under pressure from Shiv as well, because the tyres are very dirty, and Shiv now looking at it, he's thinking about pouncing, but Nelly's just going to show him that he will cover off the line and not let him go through it, and then Shiv in the dirty air just loses a bit of front end grip and gets plagued with a good bit of understeer. But that battle out front, Matt, as Matt picks up a penalty, that battle out front, Adam, is continuing on. You're absolutely right, it is not stopping.
No, Mike was pulling away, it was over a second in front last lap, and now he's back down to 7/10, so Lewis is pushing, would you expect. Rob dropping off, but he's not going to be disappointed with starting P3 if he stays in this position in the feature.
So I think Shiv now is about to go through on Nelly, and this you see, the soft tyre, lap 6, still working very, very well. So those guys that took the soft early, well, there's gains to be made.
Oh, Pedro Scarma in the pits. So they've got to be going, Pedro Scarma will be going mediums, Pedro should be going softs, so going to the end either way both. Obviously, it being 25%. I'm old. Leave me alone.
Oh man. So Mikey,
Con's getting on the back of the fight now as well. Con's got back in it.
Oh yeah, on the back of fingers. I was just about to say as well, was Matt not behind Mikey? Because now, yeah, Matoman in front of Mikey. Let's look at position gains now. We've had some pit stops filter through. There's still Matoman in the 9 games. Mr. Rage doing a hell of a good job at the moment. ENTXJ from the back of the grid as well, got himself up inside the top 10. He'll be very, very happy with how this first half of his race has played out. And then we go again for a 50% straight after 32 laps. And of course, this is where we'll really see how good the drivers are, and I think you're going to see some really strong drivers, the guys that can switch the mentality of pushing hard for 16 laps to going on that longer pace style of drive. Because if you attack that 50%er like you have this race, you're going to end up in the wall.
Yes, 100%, 100%. No, just the grid to me so far, even with us forming it from the sprint, is looking kind of normal. If the race was to finish how it does, barring a couple maybe out of position, Colin and Stephen.
But of course we have pretty much, in fact, every day from P13 downwards still to pit. And of course that'll open opportunity for some safety cars as well. You never know.
Yeah. Oh, Lewis is in the pits. Lewis is boxed. So he's going mediums. Obviously. Duh.
And Mike still running comfortable in that soft compound tyre, which I thought would be the case. The gap 9.7 seconds, and I think it's still going out. So
what's the pit gap though?
It's about 18 seconds here, 19 seconds. So
if he was to box now, he'd come out in front of Lewis. Lewis is 27 seconds behind.
27?
So yep, so be smart, box, get it done.
How has he lost so much time there? Did F-Lewis get damaged?
Before he boxed. I don't know, maybe.
Something must have happened there. You don't lose 27 seconds from a pit stop. So Mike now, yeah, we might actually just see him react to that now, Adam. I think you could be right. With him being that far off the pace, Mike gets a comfortable pit stop in terms of who he was racing, but he's not. He's just going to continue on. So Mike feeling good. Gap's still going out. It's nearly 10 seconds now on Mr. Rage. So Soft tyre still doing what it needs to do. Mr. Rage now coming into the pits. He spent a bit longer than that soft compound than I would have thought. So the interesting thing here now is going to be where SPW comes out in correspondence to Rage. Let's see how much gains SPW has made. So a flurry of pit stops actually coming in, Adam. Mr. Rage, Shiv, Mikey, Greenfingers all in the pits.
And Jay's come in. And Stephen is in 10th at the moment now. 8th. Stephen is coming out behind Rage, I think.
He did, just on him.
Yes.
So that's shown that even though he took the early pit stop, I think that's going to be big for SPW, because if he stays now with Mr. Rage and gets pulled along, people would say, oh, he's went to the back of the grid in lap 2, well that's got him to P8.
I think Con loses out.
And now up 11 positions.
Con, Gustav, nearly all got a pit. There comes Mike. Mike is in. I think Nelly's got a box, really. Or does Nelly stay out? Mike is already on his way back out. No, he's not.
So I personally, I would spend as little time possible in the mediums as you can.
Yeah, Nelly's in. Just Chris Taps and Con now, the last two. And Con's going to the south.
And Chris Taps pits.
Yeah.
And Con pits also, so this is going to be it.
He's going to be on a charge.
So where does Con come out here? Because Con's gained a lot here, I think, on the overrun. Tyler's going on. I think he'll come out the back of this Mato Man Mikey fight, actually. So he's not gained a lot, but he's definitely going to be much, much closer to that fight. So he's made good gains as Pedro picks up a time penalty for multiple warnings. So Mike has opened up the gap. He now has a tyre advantage, 2.2 seconds. So job done in terms of that. He just needs to keep it on track now, and look at this, Nelly and Matoman absolutely all over the back of each other. I just went on board there and realised what exactly was happening. So this battle playing out, Mikey's going to come and get involved in that as well. And look at that, now Adam SPW P5.
Wow.
So if he can make the tyres work, that is a huge strategy call, as Matoman picks up another time penalty for multiple warnings. And time penalties in a sprint format qualifying is not going to be a good thing, because obviously the penalties stand. Where you finish after the checkered flag is where you start that race.
I mean, I can 100% hear it now. Stephen saying, Mike, let me win, Mike, please. I can see it. I can see it now. If Mike was even in the party, I don't think he was. But that's a great drive from Stephen.
So Adam, of course you are going to leave on the last lap to set the lobby for the 50%er. Could you, once you have that lobby set, before you send invites, add the party members for a quick chit chat, whoever the top 3 are?
Yes.
And then while I'm chatting, we can do the invites and get the lobby done that way. I will, are you just going to have your phone on standby to take a quick picture of the grid?
I'm just going to screenshot it off the stream, to be fair. I've got the stream on my phone at the moment as it is, so...
Oh yeah, just screenshot it on your phone, of course, that makes perfect sense. So that aside... Oh yes. As Fingers picks up a team penalty
Mike's
also.
extending his lead. Where's all the barrels?
But I think tail of the sprint qualifying as it stands at the moment, Adam, I think it's going to be Rob. Showed some good form last season, right? We know Rob has got it, but... And I don't think he would mind us saying this. He's not massively turned up this season, but this here is us seeing the Rob that we know.
Yes, 100%. He was a benchmark last season, his first full season.
But somebody not to be counted out is Mr. Rage.
No.
How much time can he gain? He is on the back of Rob, 4 laps to go. As Shiv and SPW now have a bit of a battle.
Shiv another one. I mean, I wish Shiv would race full time, but obviously he can't work for but he's another good driver. Always on standby as a reserve for OTL.
And now, is SPW going to do his teammate a solid here? Are we going to see a job done for the Alpine boys? Because SPW is struggling a little bit, of course, on that 9-lap old tyre. He's under pressure from Nelly, but right behind Nelly would be Matoman, the other Alpine man. So Matt is going to start looking for opportunities here, I think. But I think that new tyre, Adam, is going to be far too superior as the lap goes on. Oh, there's some contact between all three drivers, between Mikey, Nelly, and in fact all four drivers there have all been in a bit of a collision. Mikey seems to have no damage. Let me watch him on corner entry. Seems okay in the slow speed. Has Matoman get any damage? That's the question.
I mean, at the moment, Ryan Sam's going to gain with Matthew's penalties, Mikey's penalties, even with Stephen's penalties. So if Ryan Sam can get a bit closer, he's going to gain 3 positions.
So I think Nelly will go through here. Is Matoman? I don't think he's going to have enough energy in the tank to really put Nelly under pressure, but Nelly is going to come at SPW. SPW will squeeze him right over to that racing line, but Nelly will go through in the inside line now. Let's see what happens. Oh, and Matthews nearly dropped the car. I just got on board. There's a big oversteer moment out of turn 1. And he is a lucky boy, but now he needs to be careful because their rear tyre temps will have spiked quite a bit. Yellow flag somewhere, Skarma out in the pits. And SPW is going to let his teammate go. SPW releases Matoman and puts a car between Matt and Mikey.
Matt now needs to get a move on. He needs to open a 3-second gap. And the way Matt's been driving this season, I can't say he won't do it. He's had a good start to this season. He's got a bit of confidence inside him, I suppose. Maybe.
So interesting, Adam. Mr. Rage got through on Rob, and now has picked up a time penalty, which is going to be huge. But he was never getting away out the DRS. Andy is on D-rate. He's literally on 1% energy. He has absolutely none.
Well, I mean, Rob's going back through.
So Mikey should see SPW D-rating or below 10%. That's what the red light flashing means in the car ahead. He has 43% energy. 2 laps to go. Come on, Mikey, what you got? Is the 2 Haas boys now. Greenfingers goes through and Pedro. So just a couple of laps to go already. Our first sprint race, as quick as it starts, it's nearly over. As Mike is almost got that gap out to 6 seconds. So it looks as if it's going to be job done. And I think Mike will be a happy boy to be the first ever OTL sprint race winner. I think that's a nice thing to talk about. Like I was HOR's first ever champion. It's just the people that do things first are just the best.
Nobody remembers that.
I mean, that's just nasty. And look at this now, Mr. Rage on the back of F. Lewis, but the time penalty is going to be the deciding factor. Rob Wills staying right in it and looking like he could start P3 in the grid.
Right, is this going to make up a couple of places?
Matoman got up to P6, and Matoman's gone wide. He's out in the gravel now next at turn 4, and that is probably going to give Mikey the opportunity he needed to catch back up and mount some form of attack on the next straight. Matt, well, a little bit of weave, trying to clean up the tyres as he barrels into quite a technical part of the circuit, but you see he's just not got the grip. He is struggling now massively with understeer. How much has he got? Here is Mikey, carries a hell of a lot of speed down through the compression zone and up to this last chicane. He'll show Matt that he's there, but he's not going to be quite close enough, as Matt again has another oversteer moment and another on exit, and Mikey says, you know, I've had enough of this, I'm going to come through. He'll go on the inside line down into the second last corner, and Matthew will need to accept that it's gone. And I think Mikey has managed to hang the brakes out enough there that he's just managed to nick that DRS for Shiv, and he did. So that'll allow him to defend now on the most critical run, the main run on this final lap of the race. Can Matoman get back through? He's got some energy in pocket. Mikey will defend the inside line. Not quite there for Matoman this time around. So can Mikey now get the jump on Shiv? Let's see their penalties. Are they even? They are both in 3 seconds. So this would be for track position between Mikey and Shiv. But Ryan Sam in that P10 position, looking set to pounce. But where is our man? And what's happened? Adam, Mr. Rage is in P1. What's happened to Mike?
I just noticed it on the stream. Mike's had a moment.
That busy with that stuff going on further. Oh, Mike's got no wing. The wing is off. He's coming home as a broken wagon, and now the critical thing is, and he's picked up a time penalty because he's had to go deep. He's going to lose more. Nelly will get through. Mike is going to fall to P5 here, and he goes even deeper again, and he's on the gravel. He's struggling now to get the power done. He gets it straight. He's on the gravel some more. He gets the power on. Nelly will close it down. He'll get the position anyway. F. Lewis will take the maiden OTL sprint race victory. Mr. Rage will take P2. Rob Wills by 0.5 of a second in P3. What a dramatic ending to that sprint qualifying. And in that dying lap, Mike has had that big moment, lost the wing of the car, and well, what an ending that was. So F. Lewis takes the win. Mr. Rage will be disappointed in that penalty, what could have been, but he will start that front row on F. Lewis, with F. Lewis.
That one. Right. That is my grid. Right, you've got to invite the three, the podium have got to invite.
Alright, let me add the guys to the party. So who do we need? We need...
I've got to invite... Oh, Rob Wills, F. Lewis, Mr. Roach.
That one's sick.
Need to add anyone?
Mr. Rage, if possible. Your thing will probably load up a bit faster. Good evening, Schlee. Nice to see you in the chat. We gave you an honourable mention not so long ago. I don't think you were in to catch it. But we did give you an honourable mention. We've just finished our first sprint format in OTL, the debut of the sprint. F. Lewis takes the first sprint victory, so he will start the feature race 50%, of course, on that pole position spot, taking the bonus point as well, because it's not from one shot qualifying. So not only does he get P1 for the 50% and the bonus points of the victory for the sprint race, but he gets that bonus pole position point. F. Lewis, just before we get into the new lobby, a quick 30 seconds. You take the first win for OTL's debut sprint race. You've got to feel good after that one. Mike having that big moment, and of course you get Mr. Rage and penalties onto the 50%er. Eyes ahead. Do you think you can control from the front?
No.
But you're going to try?
Try, yeah.
We know you're always going to try. Good result though for the sprint race, Ethan. A very good job. You were always there and thereabouts. You hounded Mike for that first session. Happy with the result there?
Yeah, happy.
Good man. So I will not hold you for too long. Just a quick chat in the stream before you go to your feature race. So have a good one, sir, and I wish you all the best. I hope to speak to you in about 40 minutes time.
I hope I'll see you at the first corner.
Don't say that. Good luck, mate. Rob Wills. Mr. Rage as well. Where is Mr. Rage?
I've invited them both.
No, I don't see Mr. Rage in the party. I don't think you added Mr. Rage here.
I'm sure I did. I'm 100% I did. But I'm also going to try and dish in.
No. Yes, I will get Mr. Rage in for a quick chitty chat. Mr. Rage, why do you hide offline? If you're watching this stream, you're a bad man. Bear with me, chat. Mr. Rage. Rage, if you're watching this chat, do not go online now either, because I'm halfway down my friends list. Takes an age to load. Come on. So Rob Wills joins us. Rob, we'll just get a chit chat with you quickly before you jump into, of course, the feature race in our 50%er. P3 and just missing out on P2 in the grid by that smallest of margins, but some extra points in the pocket for the championship. Looking ahead to the feature race, do you hope you can bring home a podium?
Possibly. Pace felt decent, but Ray's just on them soft tyres at end. He was just, I didn't even bother fighting him because I think he caught 1.3 seconds a lap for 2 laps, and at that point I just thought there is no point fighting this anymore. I'm just going to try and hang on to him. I thought he was going to catch Lewis, so the plan was try and hang on to the back of him and get DRS for a couple of laps and see if I could just drag in Lewis, because we were catching him a bit at a time.
It was not.
Never enough, and then what happened to Mike? Did he
Not sure. I was too busy enthralled with a battle that was going on a bit further back, and the next thing I know, F. Lewis is in P1 and Mike's driving around with absolutely no wing. So, yeah.
I thought Mike went out of fuel, he got really aggressive, but then I passed him because he ran wide. I thought he's got no wing, so I really wasn't sure what happened. But yeah, pace-wise, I think reasonable enough. Tyre drop off is massive on this track though, and ERS is painful. I mean, I've not touched overtake, I've got 12%. I've not used it, how is it this bad? But other than that, that's quite a good fun race. Decent start for a change, which is not like me, because I tend to still start time, but it was a decent race, I enjoyed that.
Yeah, and I mentioned it in stream about the midpoint of the race just before we let you get on for the feature. You had some really strong results last season also, and we maybe not seen you just quite at your best, but I think that was you showing just exactly what you're made of and that you really can challenge on Monday nights, so very, very good effort.
Yeah, Bahrain, I messed up the quality and then had to do a stupid strategy. Saudi Arabia just ended up in a midfield pack with 4 cars for every lap, which was really good fun, but I couldn't get anywhere to just be out of each other. And then last week was just, well, last week was just a mess.
Which happens sometimes, and I don't think we'll ever have a great smooth season for every race.
Hopefully I got all my instincts out in 1 hour slot of my year.
That's it. But anyways, Rob, very well done, mate, and good luck for the race ahead.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Thank you very much.
No,
See you in a minute.
see you soon, man. Mr. Rage, or P2 man, that alternate strategy playing out very nicely indeed.
Definitely.
Happy man, but you've got to be kicking yourself a little bit with that penalty, of course, because that should have been pole position.
I am gutted. I am so gutted with myself for that.
But that aside, front row of the grid, and I feel like you can go do something from there.
Yeah, I just hope I get a good start. Oh, that start.
Well, the inside line, remember, P2 is the better place because it's much straighter. P1's got that dodgy bit of steering to get done off the lane. So happy with your result, and eyes for a podium or even the race win?
I'm going for the race win.
That's what we like to hear. So very good luck, Mr. Rage. I'm going to have to let you go because I'm going to have to reset my game. It's not letting me in the lobby, so I'll have to quickly restart the stream for the feature race. So very good luck, sir.
Have to do.
And yes, I wish you all the best for the feature race ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much.
No worries. So chat, bear with us for 30 seconds. The stream will literally come straight back. I just need to reset the game to get me in the lobby, and for some reason that stops it. So bear with us, we will be back.